Have you ever wondered why the tortoise has a cracked shell? It wasn't always that way. His shell used to be as smooth as a polished stone. This is the story of how his own greed changed that forever. Our story begins on the vast, sun-drenched savanna. There was a buzz of excitement in the air, a flutter of wings, and joyous chirping from every tree. The birds, from the magnificent eagle to the tiny sunbird, had received a special invitation. The people of the sky were hosting a grand feast, and all creatures with wings were invited. You can imagine the excitement. They spent days preening their feathers, practicing their flight formations, and singing about the delicious yams and palm wine they would soon enjoy. Down on the ground, one creature watched with immense jealousy. It was the tortoise. He was slow, he was cunning, and he was very, very greedy. His stomach rumbled as he listened to the birds' happy songs. He couldn't fly, but the thought of missing out on such a feast was unbearable. An idea, as sly and twisted as his own nature, began to form in his mind. He knew he couldn't get to the sky on his own, so he would have to rely on his wits. He slowly ambled over to where the birds were gathered. Putting on his most charming and humble voice, he began to speak. "Oh, my beautiful, feathered friends," he exclaimed, "how wonderful you all look. Your journey to the sky will surely be a sight to behold. I only wish I could go with you to sing your praises to the sky people. You are all so generous and kind. It would be an honor to be your spokesman." The birds, flattered by his smooth words, began to murmur amongst themselves. The tortoise was known for his eloquent speeches, but alas, he sighed dramatically. "I have no wings." The birds, moved by his flattery, had an idea. Each one agreed to pluck a single feather and give it to the tortoise. They painstakingly glued the feathers all over his body and legs until he looked like a strange, patchwork bird. He flapped the borrowed wings awkwardly, but with a great deal of effort, he managed to lift off the ground. He was going to the feast. Just as they were all about to set off, the tortoise cleared his throat. "My dear friends," he announced, "for such a special occasion, it is customary to take new names. It will bring us good fortune." The birds thought this was a wonderful idea and began choosing grand names for themselves, like Glory of the Morning and Jewel of the Sky. The tortoise waited until last. With a sly grin, he said, "I will be called all of you." The birds, busy with their own names, simply nodded and didn't think much of it. When they arrived in the sky, they were greeted with an incredible sight. Tables were piled high with all the most delicious foods imaginable. Their hosts were delighted to see them and welcomed them warmly. After everyone was settled, the head host stood up and declared, "We have prepared this magnificent feast for all of you." Before a single bird could touch a crumb, the tortoise stepped forward boldly. "Aha!" he shouted. "Did you hear that? The feast is for all of you, and that is my name." He turned to the stunned birds and asked, "Is my name not all of you?" The birds, trapped by their own agreement, reluctantly admitted it was true. So, the tortoise sat down and began to eat, and eat, and eat. He devoured the mountains of pounded yam, drank all the palm wine, and didn't leave a single morsel for the hungry birds who had brought him there. The birds were furious. Their friendship had been repaid with the ultimate betrayal. One by one, they walked up to the fat, sleeping tortoise and plucked back their feathers. The eagle took his, the dove took hers, the vulture took his, until the tortoise was left with his bare, hard shell, stranded in the sky. When he finally woke up, he realized his terrible mistake. He was alone, and there was no way down. He saw the parrot flying home and begged for help. "Please, wise parrot," he cried, "fly to my wife and tell her to bring all the soft things from our house, all the cloths, all the leaves, and pile them up so I can have a soft landing." The parrot, who was just as angry as the other birds, agreed. But he had no intention of helping the greedy tortoise. He flew down and found the tortoise's wife. "Your husband commands you to bring out all the hard things," the parrot lied. "All the hoes, the machetes, the stones, and pile them up." His wife, confused but obedient, did as she was told. From high in the sky, the tortoise saw the pile below and, thinking it was a soft bed, he let go. He fell and fell and fell, crashing down onto the pile of hard objects with a tremendous crack. His smooth, beautiful shell shattered into 100 pieces. His family and friends gathered the pieces and painstakingly glued them back together with the help of the medicine man, but the shell was never the same again. To this day, the tortoise's shell is covered in a network of cracks, a permanent reminder of the day his greed took him to the sky and brought him crashing back down to earth. And that's why they say that greed may get you a feast, but it will break you in the end. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tales from around the world. See you next time.